Hello everybody and welcome back to another Theorycraft video today. Hope you're doing very well. And we are moving on to the Hunter class in this episode. Hunter, a deck which potentially, arguably has the best deck in the game currently in Highlander Hunter. And I don't really think that's going to change with the new expansion. I think Highlander Hunter is going to get a lot of new tools. Namely Ace Hunter Cream, which I talked about in the Demon Hunter video. I think this card is going to go into pretty much every single Demon Hunter and Highlander deck that wants to be aggressive or even a mid-rangey kind of deck. So yeah, Ace Hunter Cream, obviously a fantastic inclusion to Highlander Hunter. But I don't really think it needs that many, good inclusions, right? It's really a really strong deck. It's the best deck in the game for a reason, right? It's crushing ladder right now. And I don't really think that's going to change. We also have, obviously, Lawkeeper Polecat in this deck as well. As I said, this card is going to be fantastic for all Highlander decks, just because it allows you to, reshuffle your deck, get your late game threats on the top of your deck. And in this deck, the biggest minion, or the most expensive minion we have, is the Dino Tamer Bran. So if you play Lawkeeper Polecat, you're pretty much guaranteed to draw Dino Tamer Bran on the following turn, and that can definitely help you close out games. And I think even playing a Lawkeeper Polecat in this deck on turn 4 isn't going to feel too bad, just because this deck is a little bit more of a lower curve, right? So it's not, not playing the Alex Traz, we're not playing the Grand Slam, we're playing much more of an aggressive Highlander Hunter build with Kill Command as well. So yeah, if you even play this on turn 4 or turn 5, you don't mind, right? Because then you're pretty much guaranteed to have a Dino Tamer Bran on turn 7. So I think Polecat is just fantastic in this deck, either on turn 4 or even in the late game as well. And obviously pretty standard Highlander Hunter list with really aggressive 1-drops. We have the Bone for a Brawler, Guardian Orc Merchant package. We obviously, as I said, have Ace Hunter Crean. We have the Beast and Kill Command package. We even put a Faceless Corruptor in as well to, complement with the Desert Spirit. So this is just a really aggressive Hunter list. I think this would be fantastic. Probably still going to be tier 1 for sure. So if you want to climb ranks early on in Scholomance Academy, I would highly recommend playing this deck. And for a bit of a, meme deck, right, on these videos, I want to give, a competitive list for each class and also maybe a more of an off-meta meme deck for each class. And the meme for this video is going to be a mid-range Beast Hunter. This archetype hasn't really seen play at all in the last expansion, even though there have been cards like Fresh Scent and Shimmerfly and some beasts available for Hunter. But it was just always better to play high in the Hunter, right? There was no reason to play this deck. However, a couple of new cards in the expansion might give you a reason to play this deck, right? Namely, we have Shendo Wildclaw, which is going to be fantastic in this deck. You can either make use of the Keleseth effect and buff all of your beasts early on if you draw us on turn 3, right? Or even if you don't draw on turn 3 and draw it later on, you're going to be able to copy particular beasts. Maybe you're going to copy a Teacher's Pet, maybe you're going to copy a Zigsaw, or something like that to get multiple copies of it. So Shendo Wildclaw definitely makes this deck come together. And this is a very aggressive mid-range beast build. We have the 1-drops of Whoopatinker, which is basically the new Alley Cat, and also Shimmerfly, curving into a potential Fresh Scent on turn 2, which is a very good card for, obviously, can buff beast by +2/+2. Obviously, Ace Hunter Kareen is making a appearance in this deck. As I said, it's going to go into every single deck. This card is absolutely bonkers. We have the Burning Python package alongside the Mok'Nathal Lion as well. Bit of the Death Rattle package in this deck, so that's a pretty good curve, right? Getting a Burning Python on the board and playing a Mok'Nathal after it to get the rush, kill a minion, and get a 4/4 as well. And because of all these Death Rattles, right, we have Vectus as well. So Vectus, if you guys don't remember, is a 5-mana 4/4 that summons 2 1/1 whelps which copy Death Rattles that have died in this game. So a lot of the time, you're going to get either a Boated Python, a Zigsaw Apex Predator, or even a Shimmerfly. And getting a Shimmerfly, obviously, a little bit of a low roll on this deck, but it is still pretty solid to get that, right? You don't really mind. Vector, I think, is just pretty good. It's still just 6 worth of stats on turn 5. That always has upside in this deck, so pretty solid. Running the Voracious Reader as well, to kind of refill our hand if we run out of stuff. So, yeah, this card, obviously, going to be insane. This is a neutral card, guys, so you can go into a lot of different decks to make aggressive decks work in pretty much every single class, so this card's going to be absolutely insane. Other than that, it's pretty standard mid-range Hunter build, pretty low curve, right? You want to kill your opponent as soon as possible. You're running double Kill Command in this list. Running 1 copy of Coriolis Spark Stripper as well, which can combo with stuff like Tracking. It can combo with Adorable Infestation as well to kill a minion, as Deadly Shot on Spell Burst. So yeah, definitely not too bad. We're also running Adorable Infestation, which I just mentioned. This is a Druid and a Hunter deck running this, obviously in the Token Druid that we saw previously, but yeah, pretty good card in this. It's basically a 2-drop in this deck, right? Because you want to, play 1-drop and then buff it on turn 2 and then play the 1/1 that you get alongside it as well to go a little bit wide, to push a little bit of damage. Obviously, this deck doesn't really have access to stuff like Savage Roar, so a little bit less effective. Double tracking as well to, you know, potentially draw kill commands in the late game to finish your opponents off. And we've got Terran Gorfian as well, which is a good combo with Bloated Python. Yeah, this deck just has a couple of synergies and wants to be really aggressive, so not a bad deck for sure. Do I think this deck is going to be good though? Unfortunately, I feel like it isn't. Honestly, when I was theory crafting for Hunter, I really couldn't figure out what other Hunter decks you really want to play. Obviously, Highlander Hunter is the best deck, but I feel like there's not really another Hunter deck in the meta, right? Obviously, I tried to build this one. I was thinking about something like Quest Hunter potentially, but that just seemed really, really weak that I didn't even bother theory crafting it. I don't really think there's another Hunter deck that you can really play. So it was kind of difficult theory crafting this class, if I'm going to be honest, just because Highlander Hunter is so strong and so dominant. So yeah, this deck, it looks decent, right? Obviously, it is using a lot of the new cards, so that's pretty cool. But honestly, I feel like there's just no reason to play this deck, right? A lot of the stuff that this deck wants to do, Highlander Hunter just does better in every single way. Highlander Hunter is also a really aggressive deck as well, so there's no reason to really play this deck. I mean, if you want to have some fun with the new cards, definitely give it a go. I think it's a really cool deck. You can probably make this deck a little bit better as well. I feel like this is not really a refined list at all. But yeah, if you want to play Hunter a bit differently, if maybe you're a bit sick of playing a tier 1 deck and maybe a bit sick of, you know, playing Highlander Hunter all day and only seeing Highlander Hunter, this is definitely an alternative you can go for. But definitely let me know in the comment section down below any other Hunter archetypes you think are going to be viable in the next expansion. I honestly don't think Quest Hunter is going to be. Maybe you have a mid-range beast hunter that you'd like to share. That would be fantastic. So yeah, definitely comment down below. And that's pretty much it. Only 2 decks in this video. Definitely a short one, so I apologize. So yeah, that is going to be it, guys. Sorry for a bit of a shorter video for this one. Only 2 decks. But as I said, yeah, Highlander Hunter is just going to be super, super strong. There really isn't a reason to play another Highlander deck. Sorry, to play another Hunter deck, because Highlander Hunter is just so good. Going to be some different variations of Highlander Hunter for sure, so going to be messing around with those to see which is the optimal version when the expansion comes out. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video nevertheless though, and look out for my future Theorycraft videos. Only a couple more to go and a couple days to go as well before the new expansion comes out, so I'm really excited. Hope you guys are as well, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.